Banished Souls playing Skull and Bones. We had a reset last night, and we're going to go pick up the little locations we have over here in the Indies. We're going to pick all this stuff up. Then we're going to bring it back up here. There's only 4 spots, but I think it's going to be enough to get us our sovereign bonus for the week, and then we're going to wait and collect the rest of that stuff as it gets close to Friday, or we hit that 1400 rank to get those things up. So just enjoy the trip. We got a new build here we're trying out. We did this over at PvP. It worked out pretty good, but I want to try it on our collection as well. Let's see. We won't set sail. So this location up here, there's a few things to grab. I think I'm going to do Indies with Season 2 and forego the Red Isle. I hadn't really decided yet. I know I'm not going to go and grab all 3. It's just not really feasible to do that. I don't think it gets pretty costly with silver. And it's a very long time just grabbing your 8s. We've got right at 2 million 8 set back in the bank from what I've been logging in as far as my collections and stuff now, as far as how much is actually there, until they fix it where we can see those amounts. We just missed our base pick up here. Until we can actually see the actual amounts that we're getting saved, you just got to kind of keep a ledger of your own. The thing that sucks about that, though, is you might come in and some of it might be missing sometimes. I have had that situation happen with some silver in the past. Not so much here lately. I think they've done a better job of getting those things taken care of. So I'm going to grab these 8s here. We're not going to bother with the Helm Wager. I know a lot of people run that. It's one of those things. We run it with our crew a lot. Jump in and help them out with that kind of stuff. I personally, I don't bother with it when I'm collecting 8s, mainly because if you end up getting glitched out or knocked out of the server for whatever reason that happens. I know every patch we have, they said they're working on that, but it seems to be an ongoing issue. I would say that you're going to end up losing your 8s typically in that. Now they have made these towers and stuff quite a bit stronger than what they used to be, so that's something to keep an eye out on. Okay, so we are just going to come on up through here. I've got torpedoes on the side. Apparently he had enough room to be able to shoot his. So let's see if we can get swung around here and shoot some up here back at him. There we go. Yeah, I can shoot back, buddy. And I've managed to pretty much make everything mad up through here, which is pretty normal, pretty typical. Of course, if you shoot them and you're too close, you're not going to have that arming, so you're not going to do much damage. But the great thing about the battle bark is even if you're dealing with some little strays, you're not going to catch too much damage. It'll heal up on its own. Of course, on the back, we always make sure we keep us a bombard. Does a great job to finish them off. Okay, so next location straight ahead. Oh, and in case you haven't been watching the community board that we have here, so we give you updates what's going on tonight on Twitch, they're going to be having another episode of The Deck, which is going to be taking place to show what's coming up for Season 2. They're closing out Season 1. Some basic information, what you may or may not have missed, things that they've done in Season 1 as far as toward the game. I'm looking forward to hearing some of these hints and tips that's going to come out for Season 2. So definitely check in on that. If you don't really follow Twitch, that's cool. I'm going to make sure we watch it. We want to take notes. We'll make a video and explain exactly what it is they're saying, and sometimes it can be kind of hard to determine what they're saying while you're watching those videos. You got to watch it 2 or 3 times because there is a little bit of a language barrier sometimes, but always great information on that Ubisoft live that they do over there. So if you're wondering why I don't bother collecting all 3 aisles, I'm trying to farm those sovereigns right now. And if you grab everything on Monday, you're not going to be at that 1400 rank cutoff to be able to grab it again inside that tier. There is a little balance point in there. It seems to work great at 1400. You just barely want to collect enough to get your sovereigns. That should actually put us just above 5,000, I believe, this week. Yep. And then we'll be able to grab us another little set here. So it'd be nice if we finally hitting that 5,000 mark again. I want to make sure we're going into season 2 with a full load if we can. We want to make sure we got plenty of silver, plenty of 8s. We get asked a lot, and I've covered it in other videos, so I don't know if not watching to the end of the video, we're going to cover it now. When the season resets, hopefully tonight we're going to get a definitive answer. The answer that we had on part 2 of the deck, which has been a few months back now, it was saying that we were going to be keeping our 8s and our sovereigns and our silver going into the next server. Obviously, the leaderboards are going to get reset. All the books in the helm get reset. You lose your manufactories and stuff, and you'll have to start back over on that aspect. But you're supposed to keep your currency. Somewhere along the line, there was a rumor where people said, oh, well, all that's going to get reset. That's not what Ubisoft has said in the past, so it's going to be interesting to see what they say in the stream tonight. I know that's one thing that's on a lot of our minds because, we have been grinding and saving up these things. We've gotten everything that we can. But if you're not going to be able to get it, I want to make sure we can let you know that, hey, if they're not going to transfer over, you want to use that in the black market and buy as much stuff, as much special commodities as you can. It's going to be used for making weapons and stuff like that in the future. But I think we're going to be safe on it. I've not seen any indication from Ubisoft that we're actually losing any currencies going into Season 2. We're just going to have a reset of the factories and stuff. I believe that rumor started by, people who, one, they don't like the game. There's a lot of streamers out there who come out and they talk about the game. If you ever watched, they're not actually using any of the higher end ships, so they've just played through part of one of the either the demo or they've come through at the open beta, made some videos, and they just keep trashing the game and haven't actually taken place in it. So I thoroughly enjoy the game. Now, like most people, I have ground through the in-game content, and I'm waiting for new content, obviously, but there's still plenty of stuff to grind, so I do need to get some green heart plank. That is the one material that I want to make sure that I can get saved back up, because that's an in-game wood, and the best place to do that is going to be over here in this area around these forts. Everybody carries green heart, and then there's trees and stuff on little islands you can pick up. So I do recommend that you make sure that all of your materials are up to par. I ended up building some weapons for a team member, and that stuff gets used up pretty quick. I definitely got to get some more practice with these torpedoes, but once you start making some good connection points, man, they do a fantastic job just taking these ships out. Make sure you lead with the rockets if you shooting rockets. And that dude is gone, sweet. if you ever notice when you're collecting your eights, you'll get rogues or even the smugglers, or not smugglers, the pestilence fleets. They always try to push you away from the direction you're headed. So always try to make sure that you click into your map, make sure that you're headed back to your location, and you shouldn't have too many issues with it. But if you're just kind of sailing around, make sure you've marked like we have. I could tell pretty quick we were losing our actual direction we were wanting to go in, and hey, they was pushing us right back to where we just collected. That's pretty typical of the game. When you see them, understand that's what they're going to do. It's best to just turn straight into them, take them out if you have the weapon set up. So I am using a tearing carronade here on the front to take out sails, and then of course my fire bombard and our Rema torpedoes on the sides. There's some things I've just been kind of playing around with a little bit, gotten back to playing with the Skurlock long nines and all that kind of stuff, the Skurlock chasers. Some pretty good equipment out there as far as that, but just kind of playing around to add a new concept to the game as I do these grinds, because let me tell you, man, if you wonder why I don't collect all three, this is why. You see how long it takes to get from location to location to grab everything, and it takes away a lot of the time that I could be doing team play as far as helping people grind stuff out. So this is kind of what I like to do, is just come in, grab what I need, get it turned in, and then I can go back to my normal content. Now, early on, trying to get those banks reserves up, you want to make sure that you're collecting everything as often as you can. But once you get everything collected out of there, you've got what you need out of black market, you've got your nice little stipend saved up, I recommend just getting an aisle. Unless you're chasing that leaderboard, then yeah, you're going to need to get all three as fast as possible. Get them all up to 10s. You're going to need silver to keep it funded. Then you're going to want to run helm wagers and stuff like that to get up into that tier 1 rank. But really, as long as you are in diamond tier, you're supposed to get some rewards. Now it sounds like there's going to be some rewards further up. How those work, they've not really released it yet, so I expect we're going to be seeing some of that coming out in the deck tonight. I expect we'll be seeing some reward, some sort of a reward pass, so we'll try to get that information to you if they discuss it tonight. I may actually end up collecting Africa this next season. Indies is okay. There's so many little tributaries and things to deal with. Then you got to go all the way around some of these islands. Now I know if you've got all the locations, it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. But to me, I don't know, man. This is an okay area, but I prefer the African area, running up through those little channels and stuff. There seems to be more fruit along the way. You can pick up little banana fruits and stuff like that to really get, and even your shipwrecks. You get a few shipwrecks up through here, which is nice. But you got to make sure you're not aggroing these ships, because these towers, I mean, if you think them little towers are bad, they have really buffed these things up. They will do some massive damage on a ship very fast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Ubisoft is going to offer us come season 2 that's going to counteract some of these buffs they're putting in. These ships are not hitting like they used to. Obviously, they take a lot more hits as well. So they've done some tweaks on it, which is nice. It keeps the game interesting. So you're not just coming around here one-shotting everything. You know how quickly that would get boring. But I would recommend, if you're using a ship set up with torpedoes and stuff to collect, maybe travel with a friend. They work okay until you get crowded. You ever notice you use dimmies, everyone's way off. When you use something that requires them to be a little bit further out, they're right on top of you. So maybe mix and match a few things. Throw a dimmy on the front if you need to. Maybe something I do. I just wanted to test the build out, see how it works with these torpedoes here. But they do massive damage when you can, actually make your connections, because you get some serious points for consecutive hits. But yeah, we did a little PvP last night, and I want to try out this Gamma Copa 3 armor. It actually has a higher rating as far as the base armor, not the number value, but as far as the armor itself, it has a little bit more than the Black Prince armor and some of the other armors. So went ahead and tried it out. It does okay. It has 0 fire protection though, so that's something you gotta watch out for. If you've got guys using fire bombards or even those demi cannons that set fires and stuff, you have no protection against that, and it's going to sink you quick. So if you start running into a lot of stuff where you have people using torpedoes and things like that, you can play around with the armors a little bit, but all it takes them to have that one weapon, and you're really going to be susceptible to that damage. So we got that location. I believe our next one is down here. Yep. And then after I get this, I'm going to sail over, drop off at St. Anne, see exactly what I can get as far as, did I get my sovereigns? If I do, great. We're going to end up in the stream at that point and then pick it back up, obviously, in the end of the week, so you can see that again. I've put a few videos out. I don't remember which one they are. You have to look at that, guys. We've talked about this a lot, and we've shown you time and time how it works, what the current ranking system is. Now, one thing I have noticed is not as many people are collecting 8s now, so you've got to kind of make sure that you got to make sure that you're watching that leaderboard. I think he's cut it out to the right a little bit. We'll see if we can hit him there. And he's left. So one of the things too, if you use these rockets, you're not going to get the range that you do. They're about the same distance as a demi cannon. They do a great job if you can hit the ship on the deck and just chew that thing up. These are just the rocket 3s. These are not the termite 3s. I like the rocket 3s for that. The termite 3s work good on structures and stuff too. So depends on how you want to do it. Everyone kind of has their own preference of weapons, and that's a good thing to have. So we're going to send a little bit of something this guy's way. We'll come back around and see if we can take out some of these sails. All you got to do is aim at the sails. And then, of course, hammer them with those rockets. Nice hit. The reload on these are pretty quick, too. Kind of keep it in mind to watch your map, make sure we are heading in the right direction. They will try to push you off course. If he's going to continue to follow us, we'll continue to send a little stuff his way. I think we actually missed him. You'll notice once you get them down to about half health, they kind of veer off and want to go away. You can chase it down and destroy it if you want to. I don't really need any extra materials or anything at this point. I think we're sitting pretty good on everything. We're going to do some forts and stuff tonight, me and some of the guys, and everyone in Discord's obviously welcome to join in. If you've joined Discord and you're looking around like 1 p.m., most people are at work at that time, so we are working on getting an early morning and even early afternoon crew in. So that's something, if you're looking for that type of stuff, we're definitely wanting to build our Discord up to include a lot of those time zones as well. We've got a few players in there, not enough to take the Blighted Bastion yet on that time zoning, but we're getting close, and the more people we get to join in with that, obviously the quicker that's going to happen for us. So if you're in those UK time zones, guys, and you're looking for a group, hop in, bring your friends. There's a few of us already over here to push into them time zones, give you a hand. We've got a few retirees in here that played the game. Let me tell you, man, these guys are doing fantastic builds. We're not going to show their builds because that's proprietary stuff for their ships. I'm not going to show what they're using, but I will tell you, man, if you meet them guys in PvP, you are going to have one heck of a time because they've got a heck of a build set up. One thing you want to make sure is you don't end up getting a bunch of DMC wanted levels before you get down here, or you're not going to be able to collect. So just kind of steer away, let your level come back into norm there. As far as the plague levels, me for one, I'm ready to see the pestilent fleets move on and get out. That's just me. They've buffed them so much. It's not that they can't be killed. It's not that they're hard to kill. It just wastes a lot of cannon fire to do it. So typically, I hit them just enough to get them to move on and go on about my business. Because let's face it, cannonballs, even with the heavy grind, getting the materials, buying them every day, every 30 minutes or however long I think it's every 30 minutes it refreshes those stores. Might be every hour, but you're going to burn through them pretty quick. The way that some of these ships have been buffed up, they've just got the armor ready way through the roof. We don't get to do that apparently with our ships, but I'm hoping that that's going to be some future content to look forward to for the season 2. All right, I'm gonna mess with him. I think I'll have to take this guy out. Okay, now we should be able to go over here and grab these 8s. Let's see. And I apologize if this fan is blowing too loud. I don't have a way to go check that out. Look before we post the video up. But I have a bulldog and he gets real hot. It's getting summertime and he likes to position his fan where it's blowing right on him. He'll kick it around in the floor. But he wants it to blow on him while he lays right at my feet, so it kind of blows the wind right in my face. So I think I've got it pretty well leveled out to get rid of some of that sound. But if it does bother you, definitely comment in and let me know so we can find a cool room for him. Maybe we can let him crawl up in the refrigerator for a little bit or something to stay cool. Now, I could be wrong on my figuring here, but I think this is actually going to be enough to grab the sovereigns that I need. Oh, you got to be kidding me, really? So this is one of the things you got to watch for. Every now and then you'll come up in here, this thing will do some weird stuff. What you got to do is leave the area, come back in, see what it is that's aggroed you. Typically, there's going to be some kind of a pestilent ship somewhere nearby that it's not reading, it's not giving you an aggro, but it's just in enough range to mess with you. There we go. We ended up getting interact. Cool. So we didn't have to go to war with anything there. Now we're going to head over to St. Anne to give this a nice little boost here. I think this is going to be, we could go to Talak. Let's see which one's closer. Let's just go St. Anne. We'll cut straight across that storm. My bad, you kind of in the way there, bud. So if you look at this marker, you see the silver area. That is, after that red has left, that's where it arms. Make sure he's outside of the red and up into the silver before you fire, or you're just going to basically be wasting a shot. Yeah, it does a fantastic job taking out these NPC ships. I'm going to give it that, man. I'll have to see what it does for PvP later, but I wasn't real happy with it for PvP last time I tried it, so we'll see how they work. But it makes a great build for dealing with plague ships, man, because it just rocks their world. So it looks like we got about 12,000 meters to go. We should be able to close that distance pretty good. Let's kick this thing into high gear, see what we can do here. I'm hoping to have a way to increase our stamina on our ship other than just using furniture. So one of the things I'd like to see is to see some, more crew modifications where we can actually increase their stamina or increase some base stats of the ship versus what they're using, whether it be weapons or whatever. The furniture thing's great, but we kind of have two wasted avenues right now with the quartermaster, which used to be monkeys and stuff like that, or the lemurs. You used to be able to do extra effects for your ship, extra bonus points and stuff for weapons and things like that in the game, but that all changed when the game actually released, so I'm hoping to see that content come back out in Season 2. Now, I'm sure it'll come back out at some point, but those are some avenues where we could actually get some extra stuff on our ship, get that built up, and I wish we could actually change out and hire new quartermasters and even hire specific, however many people we need to crew the ship. And if it costs silver or sovereigns or whatever it ended up costing, or even if it was a daily rate, like how you have with some games like GTA for mechanics and stuff, I think those would be some really cool things to add into the game. That may be something that we see coming up. So you definitely want to be catching those streams or catching us right after the streams, because we're going to break all that stuff down to you, what to expect coming in. We do know a few things. We're looking at a fleet management system, exactly what that's going to consist of. We don't know everything yet, but we've heard sounds like it's going to be an auto collection for some 8, so that'll be kind of nice. We're looking at some things that'll be for our Megalodon that's coming out, and some new ships. It says furniture, some weapons. I imagine we're going to see a new armor, or at least start seeing a blueprint that we can earn towards some new armor, because if it's anything like Zamaharabu, where you had to get the teeth to get the blueprint, then you needed teeth and scales to build it, then you kind of need those things to be able to build the Great Spring Wall and some of these other weapons now. So I'm hoping to see that those things are going to be utilized in some fashion to, as nice as the ballistas are, I'm just really not impressed with ballistas. We had to use them for La Peste on the Blighted Bastion to really get those real nice shots on that red barrel on the back when he starts to spew his smoke. But I'm hoping to see more weaponry coming out, or at least a way to beef up the weapons that they have already made available in the game. We missed the heck out of that, boy. Wow, we ran right up with some rogues, didn't we? So he's just a little close. We're taking a few hits from him, but we're dealing some. All right, he's back into the armed area, so. Didn't even see this guy in front of us here, so we could shoot his sails, or we could aim for this red here, which is the better shot, I think. See if we can take his sails out. Oh, I missed him. Wow, gotta lead that dude. Okay, we're about 6,000 from St. Anne now. We ought to be down near the southern pass. No, we're up near the top. No, we are down here. That's one thing I was hoping to see fixed. This has been kind of an ongoing problem since the mid-season update with this deal where you go to the map and it'll be just some random location. I've had a few times where it actually like appear up into the smoke area up above the hazed out area with all the fog. So I don't know what's going on with that. I know that we had a couple people comment about that. You know, when is that going to get fixed? It's been reported. I've reported it. I know a bunch of other people have reported it. So it seems like it's something that maybe they can't get a handle on right now. Maybe they need to just go ahead and open up that top section of the map to fix it. Would be great for me. We'll have to wait and see how they decide to handle that, though. But I'm getting excited. We got 13 days, I believe it is. Let's look here. Maybe it's 12. It is 13 days. Yep, left on this pass. So I know a lot of people were hoping it was going to end in the middle of May. Back at that mid-season pass update, they were telling us they were going to add some time to the pass for people just coming into the game. So that worked out pretty nice for them to be able to continue to grind out this material and stuff like that. So, well, I hope these ships are all over here later when I come back through, because I'm going to get all that green heart plank I can get. These are the ships that are going to carry it. These white-sailed campaigny ships. Then, of course, you can look around the edge of the bases and stuff, and you should be able to find some trees. There's not a whole lot of trees that'll carry it here, but you can find a few. And I just assume grab the planks personally. It just makes it quicker and easier. So I believe we're carrying about 18,000 pieces of 8. Let's see. Yep. We'll see if that is enough to get those sovereigns. If it is, that's going to give us better placement, a little bit better position on the scoreboard to be able to hit that second one come the weekend. Had a few people saying I collected all my sovereigns, all 3 areas on Monday, and then when Saturday, Sunday come around, it still wasn't at the 1400 rank. Well, you collected too much at the beginning of the week. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's a very fine line balance system. You have to hit those numbers right, or you're not going to gather sovereigns twice a week, unfortunately. But really, is it really worth something? To me, it is. It's worth it, because you know that those future weapons that are going to come out, the blueprints for it, they're going to require sovereigns, or maybe even just the equipment itself is going to require some sovereigns, or even the pieces of 8. Then you're looking at, I don't remember the exact amount, but it seemed like it was around 1.6 million to be able to bring all 3 territories up to 10s. Now that may change going into season 2, obviously, but and then of course you're looking at 3.8 million silver to keep those funded every time you have to fund it, which is about every 2 days. So that's going to be up to you how you proceed with that. Now, obviously, when season 2 starts, we're going to grab everything we can in a location. One of the things that may end up making me get the Red Isle only is because it's the base. Unless you have it filled up and you're running specific locations on the hostile takeover events, you're going to kind of end up with maybe one over here, one in another area, and just kind of bounce around between 2 zones. It's going to take you longer to complete those delivery lines and stuff. So your trade routes are real important. You want to make sure you get those. Of course, you need to make sure that you have enough 8 saved up so you can get those books saved in too. And as far as how you do the books, if you're not planning to do St. Anne or you're not, or Talak Panjara, the Indies, then there's really no need to upgrade that book. All right, this will be the test of truth here. Let's see if we got enough to get our sovereigns. Okay, let's see. We should be able to hand this in, and it's going to tell us pretty quick whether or not we got enough. So there's 18,000. And didn't see the sovereign bonus, so we need to get more. Let's go over here and see where we're at on this leaderboard. We may need a lot more. I'm not even sure where we're currently ranked at. So there it went, 230 sovereigns, so it just took it a minute to come up. So we are now at 5150 on that, I'm not going to collect anything else this week. What I will do is I will continue to fund them. Just so you can see, I'm not pulling your leg, so we're at 51.50 now. If you need to back the video up, see where we showed you earlier, you're good to go. And we'll do this again at the end of the week. I try to put one out every Friday or Saturday when I collect, just so you can see that it does work. Now, as far as if people still want to say it doesn't work, that's up to them. As you can see, most of our locations are slam full. We have these here that'll be collecting in now. So this is really don't think we'll have to fund this week. And then on Friday evening, Saturday morning, we're going to come in and collect everything again, the entirety of it all, and then actually give us another setup. But we want to make sure that we are actually sitting at, I would say, minimum of 1,400 folks. The reason I say that is, I mean, we got paid at the weekly here. We're at 541 tier 5, so we want to make sure we can get that to climb as high as we can before we collect again. It probably wouldn't even hurt to collect it on Sunday. By then you'll have enough time come Monday or Tuesday morning to be able to grab 1,800 sovereigns off some locations and just bring that stuff back in is what I would, or I say 1,800, 18,000 sovereigns to bring it in. That seems to be the magic number there. 4 locations that are full at 4,500 a piece, so that's 18,000. So, but I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. We're going to hop off here, and we will catch you later. If you're wondering, where do I find these ship builds that you're using? There is actually albums in our YouTube channel. It's got ship builds. It's got your Skull and Bones news, which will be videos like this, plus any updates that they release. You're going to be able to see more specific builds, exactly how to build it, so go and check that stuff out. If you're into Star Trek and a lot of these other games that we're playing, we're posting up videos on that as well. If there's games that you like to play, obviously send me a Discord, or send me an invite. Send me a comment so I can get you a Discord invite in, because there's a lot of guys in here and a lot of gals that are playing a lot of different games that don't get featured on this channel. I'm encouraging them to start doing streams so that they can start getting some viewers over there, at which point they start that, we're going to start letting you know where it's at so you know who to get with within the Discord group. Y'all have a wonderful day.